Right, so I'm currently in Detroit, here because of my travel bodywork business that I have been doing since March of 2020. I guess you could say even earlier, February 2020. So it's been 5 years now, going on into almost 6 years if I continue to do it into next year, which I am really not trying to do. I really want to get out of this trading my time for money because even though this business that I'm currently in, it allows me to live a existence that is above the average person who is stuck in employment, stuck in a rat race. I'm still trading my time for money. And I do not like doing that. I'd rather have something where if I do something one time, I can get paid for it for days, months, weeks, years to come, and that's pretty much what I'm working on, putting into fruition, putting into motion so it can come into fruition as I'm continuing my journey as an entrepreneur because I damn sure not going back to being an employee. That's the life that um, made me miserable. Who was uh, causing me to feel like a failure, and there's no way I'll never go back to that life, you know. And currently, what I'm doing now, I did this in the midst of when COVID just started to take off. All the lockdowns started to happen, and I did this in the midst of that, and I built myself from being broke, sleeping in a car at the moment, having a child on the way. That's the reason why I got into this because I had a child on the way, and me working security at that time was not going to allow me to take care of a child because I could barely take care of myself when I was in that position. So having to depend on this source of income that was giving me pennies on the dollars for me trading all my time for it, and then have that be able to what's the word I want to use, provide for me and another person. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. So I had to do this in the midst of all that. And look, what came about from it is that first month in March, I was making more money than I was making as a security guard. Going into April, I was making a good deal of money. I'm like, okay, this is going great. By May, when I dropped my Mother's Day special, did my first 10K month. So I went from broke, existing in a state of failure and pretty much poverty. You could say if you're broke and you sleeping in your car, to now I got money flowing and I just hit my first 10K month. Now, if I charge now what I did back then, if I charge now uh, what I charge now and did that back then, I would have probably been hitting 20K months. But back then my prices were half of what they currently are. And my prices could be higher, honestly. But, I could have been doing 20, 25K months. And that was just me, like I said, hustling. I took everything that was going on around me, I put that to the side and said, look, I got to get out of this position. I got to do this ASAP. I didn't give a damn about anything. You know what I'm saying? I only was focused on winning. I wasn't even focused on hitting a specific dollar amount. I was just working my way of getting out of that position where it's like, all right, this shit is hell, and I can't continue to doing this because I've been doing this in all my 20s. And mind you, I turned 31 that year in January. I'm like, I'm not going into my 30s being in this same position of constantly lacking and constantly failing. That's not going to work for me. So that's all I was thinking about is getting myself out of the position of failure and doing what I needed to do in order to win. And that's why I hit those goals. And by July, I started traveling, what I'm currently doing right now. First city I went to was Birmingham, Alabama. That pretty much sold out, booked out. Then I went to Miami after that. That pretty much booked out, and then I just went from there to Houston. Else did I go? Orlando, back to Miami, Birmingham again, DC. Just going all across these different cities based on me taking a thought, an idea, and a need to get out of lack, and then allowing that to carry me over into a new form of prosperity. Of course, 10K a month is not rich, but when you're broke, when you pitifully in a pitiful position of being broke, and then you get to a position where you got cash flow coming in, yo, that's an amazing feeling. And around right now, I'm working towards 20K months being my minimum, and getting towards those 50, 100K months, you know, with the new offers that I'm putting um, out there into the marketplace and positioning myself as a expert and a leader in these different forms of knowledge that I'm dispensing to people, because I have real experience of being an entrepreneur. You know, you got a lot of people talking about this, and that. Man, they don't know nothing about entrepreneurship. They don't know about nothing about being a solopreneur, being self-employed, nothing about that. They just want to sell the fantasy in order to get rich quick. You know, I've been doing this. Before this, the first 10 years of my 20s was nothing but failure, trying to be a copywriter, having a blog, trying to do e-commerce with the clothing, writing a book that didn't sell because I didn't know nothing about building an audience and marketing and selling and ads and things like that. Writing a course that didn't sell. I wrote this course while I was doing security for Steve Harvey, because I'm looking at Steve Harvey. He not even here. This was back in 2018, 19. No, it was 2019. Yeah. So this is when he was in LA recording. So he had this house in Atlanta, and I'm looking in his garage, and I see he has, you know, two Rolls Royces just sitting there, not being driven because he's not even here. And, you know, this is a guy that went from being broke, sleeping in his car, just like I was doing at that time, and now he's a multi-millionaire, got multiple houses. And, you know, this is a nice house in the north side of Atlanta, and it's just sitting here while he's somewhere else. I'm like, man, if he can do it, I could certainly do it. That was my motivation to do that, but did that and didn't sell. Like I said, the book prior to that, I wrote that book probably, was it end of 2017 going to 2018. I didn't have a market for that. I didn't build an audience for that. I didn't know how to get out here and hustle, sell. But, you know, I'm rewriting that book as well. But, you know, these are the different things that I wanted to do in order to get myself in a position to be called a so-called successful entrepreneur. But, you know, once I really cut off everything as far as all the bridges, jobs, and I'm going all in on this bodywork therapy, this is what put me in a position to win. You know, it's been cool, you know, hitting 10, 12K months on the slow times, you know, this year, you know, 7, 8K, which is not great for me, you know, but that's good for an average person. But you gotta understand too, I have my business expenses as well. So, you know, hitting those type of months, you know, it's good for the average person. But when you looking to elevate and put yourself in a position where you are prospering and operating in abundance, you know, you got to move from being comfortable and procrastinating because everything feels all right, because you can just turn on a Facebook ad and, you know, get bookings and have that money coming in. And I only work on the weekends doing this. I used to work 7 days a week. If I work 7 days a week right now, I could probably be generating 200 to 250,000. But why would I continue to trade my time for money? I mean, this is a cool business being, but why would I continue to trade for my time for money? And it's not even getting me in a position to be a millionaire, unless I took that money and put it into some different forms of income where it works for me. But, you know, how much longer do I want to continue to do this? I'm going to be reaching my 40s in the next 3 years. So how long do I want to continue to do this? Trading my time for money. So, you know, I'm just working on putting myself in a position where I take an opportunity that taught me how to be an entrepreneur, that taught me how to manage money, how to not spend money, because, you know, you got the great high months and you got the slow months, and you've been spending crazy, now you broke looking stupid. So it taught me how to really be an entrepreneur, and now I'm looking to elevate my game. And that, like I said, while I'm doing this, I want to teach others, you know, show the other people, you know, you all who are interested in entrepreneurship and being self-employed, how do you do this? How you go about starting and building and elevating? I started, I didn't document that process. I'm building. I'm gonna show you this process as I'm elevating. So look, man, this is just me reintroducing myself. I'm gonna be consistent with these YouTube videos because this is the best place to teach people. This is where people are searching for information. And like I said, I'm not rich. I'm going to get there to wealth. But, you know, I'm somebody who's self-employed. I'm doing it for myself. Like I said, I'm currently in Detroit. I live in Atlanta. I travel everywhere. I travel all around the United States to offer my services. I'll be in Chicago next week, and then I'll be in KC after that, Kansas City. So, like I said, this is just me giving y'all a brief rundown of some of my history. I'm going to get deeper into these different stories that I told on other videos upcoming. But, you know, follow me, follow this page, subscribe to it. like I said, just really be ready to see how somebody can go from broke to decent and then go to wealth based off of investing in your skills and knowledge and dispensing it to people, creating offers, creating products, and just putting it out there, packaging it with good information that shows people like, all right, you the real deal. I need to go ahead and invest into you because what you're doing, I want to be at that level as well. So man, look forward to it. Oh, also my digital product that I wrote, my mindset manual, 5 to 10K monthly hustle, just teaching you how to operate, how to think and operate as an entrepreneur. It gets you out of the mindset of being an employee. There's nothing wrong with being an employee. If you want to be an employee, cool. Do what you do. But for those who want to learn how to be self-employed, you need to deprogram yourself from the societal standards and the societal mind traps that keep you stuck in a loop of the rat race and reprogramming yourself. This is the mindset manual that you need to go ahead and purchase and put it in your arsenal. I got something else coming out next month as well, on Black Friday. So that's another type of mindset manual, and that's teaching you how to gain control over your reality and the world around you with force. you know, using your mind in the process and the actions aligning with it in order to grab and take what you want out of this world. So look, I got a lot of things coming to store coming in 2026. I'm just introducing myself and be in store for what I had to offer to you all. Be in store to learn, grow, and develop yourself into your peak impact performance as a human being while you're existing in this world today. So, like I said, that's just me giving a quick spill, a quick history of what I offer, why I am in a position to offer it to you. And look, I'm winning. I want to see you win. So, tune into the next one.